Well, you probably have heard of the saying, hard times create strong men create good times create weak men, and then weak men create the hard time. When was the last time we experienced hard times? It was the World War II, and the people then had to fight for what they love, for what they care about, their families, their prized possessions. And this led to these strong men creating these good times of the 1960s till probably the end of the century. And you can see the byproduct of the good times, these weak men, throughout maybe the start of the new century till before the cough, if you know what I mean. Well, what are the characteristics of these weak men? They don't work out at all. They are very unathletic. They mostly spend their time playing video games, maybe as well eating junk food 2, 3 times a week. I don't know. Or, you know, watching an endless amount of porn, maybe jacking off around 3, 4 times a week, 5 times a week, 5 times a day. This isn't healthy. Well, our modern society has created all these comforts to keep the drive, because it literally impacts your drive as a man to go and do the hard work to keep you controlled. Now I might sound paranoid, but let me prove you why I'm not wrong. Let's take for example, the diet of the modern man consists of mostly processed food, refined sugars, and a lot of junk food. How many times did you go to eat some junk food this week? 2, 3, 4? How many times did you choose this delicious chocolate instead of a banana, for example? It must be a lot. All these processed foods, especially the microplastics that are in them, damage your testosterone. The PVC that can be found in water bottles, for example, really damages your testosterone. And also, it makes you lethargic. Not the PVC, I'm talking about processed food in general. It makes you really sleepy. Like, if you go out for a meal, eat a stomach full, and then be like, "Oh, I would like to go for a sleep now. I'm so sleepy now," and it's not even 2, 3 in the afternoon. What do you think Alexander would eat in a day? He probably would wake up, fasted, and did all his work. And around 10, 11 would have his first meal. And what would that be? Probably not this modern day cereal that are full of sugar, and instead have some oatmeal or a glass of milk, freshly made out of his own cow. Then what about lunch? Alexander's lunch consists of the boar he went off and caught in the wild, and maybe some of his own vegetables that grows in his own fields. And what about dinner? And he would probably end his day with something filled with protein, so he can hit his protein goal for the day, and also not eat some carbs that will spike up his insulin and impact his sleep. That's what Alexander would eat in a day. And speaking of Alexander, what do you think his body would look like? I think that you can see all of Alexander's veins as he's sculptured like a Greek god, and then also all of the muscular definition on his pecs and shoulders as his body fat percentage is low, but not that low that impacts his testosterone. And also, Alexander could run for 3, 4 miles without even sweating because he is in that good of condition. And let's think about John. John is either skinny, either fat, or he is skinny fat. These are the types of bodies of a man that hasn't trained himself. You can tell from very far away that John hasn't been spending any time at the gym. Oh, why would I spend time in the gym? It's for meatheads. It's for losers. Oh my God, they don't have any personality. The only thing that they care about is their muscles. And John stays weak. Everyone is better than him in sports, in life in general, as they can go through life without having to gasp for every step that they take. Oh my God, it's so hard. Literally, John is climbing up the stairs. Such a hard task for you. Is being fat okay? Oh, and the people that criticize you for it are fat phobic? Yeah, definitely. Yeah, being fat is healthy. Yeah, The comforts of the modern world have made you to such a weak man. You don't want to go to the gym because it's hard. You prefer to watch some YouTube videos. You prefer to play some video games. You want to watch a movie in Netflix that doesn't have any meaning. Like, okay, I don't really watch movies that often, but when I do, they truly have a meaning behind them. Like, not so long ago, I finally found some free time and watched the American Psycho. To be honest, even though that it was confusing, if you really get into it, get into that movie, you see all the hidden meanings. Now that's a side rant, but what are you doing with your time? You find it really hard to quit playing video games. Okay, I understand. I was once there, but instead of playing 3 hours a day, dedicate 1 hour of these three that you would play video games. Go to the gym, hit a quick workout. It really doesn't take that much long. And after hitting these first workouts and feeling better about yourself, you will see that all these habits you have, these meaningless habits, are not worth to keep doing. Another comfort that the modern world offers you is porn. You can go sit in front of a screen and then fulfill your natural needs for ejaculation and then feel bad about it. Making love to a woman, making her feel that she's so special while she's with you, and then all this results to both of you completing. What? Who would who would do that? John or Alexander? Probably Alexander, right? Because John finds comfort spending his time watching some porn. And then what happens? John busts a nut, feels bad about it, and then he's lethargic. Probably go eat some high fat, high sugar meal, or take a nap because he's tired now, leaving all his activities that are unfinished, stay unfinished. Procrastinates after that. Porn is really bad for young men because it it first of all sets unrealistic expectations. Like, man, okay, you see all these women that parade themselves, these bimbos with huge fake tits and even fake asses, and you think to yourself, oh, I would love to have a woman like that. Oh, all girls are like that. And then you go out to the real world and you find yourself pretty disappointed, eh? Girls don't look like that, oh, do they? And it fucks with your brain because, like, the monkey brain thinks, oh, we are having sex. Oh, it's so good. We are having sex. Let me reward you with some dopamine. But the prefrontal cortex, the newly developed part of our brain, understands that these are just some pixels in the screen, man. It's not real. You're not having sex. You're watching porn. And then that's why you feel bad about it. That's why you're like, this is the feeling after you bust a nut watching porn for all men. And it also degrades women. Porn really degrades women. They it shows them that the only way to make money and fame is by starting an OnlyFans account. Look how much money I'm getting paid. No. And especially, bro, if you're in a relationship, you shouldn't watch porn at all. Because you're like, oh, I have this precious, gorgeous, perfect woman sitting right beside me. And I open up Pornhub and I see the perfect woman, the one that has the hourglass shape. She has these big jogs and this big dump truck. And then you look at your woman and you are like, maybe she's not that perfect. Maybe she's not that great. And you treat her differently. And in the meantime, it's not your woman's fault. She's built like that. You can do nothing about that. Shame on you, because literally you have a woman that is natty and doesn't have these fake attributes on her. She doesn't have fake boobs. Doesn't have fake ass. You have this woman that is pure next to you. She loves you by ejaculating social pixels in the screen instead of making meaningful and present love to her. I cannot stress enough how horrible it is if you watch porn and you're in a relationship. All this leads to your mental health, man. All that, all these comforts that this modern world provides makes you depressed because it's not you. This isn't this modern man that they present is not you. This is not a masculine man. Masculine man wants all of the world's trials so he can better himself. He wants to experience everything. He wants to conquer land and people. And you castrate that masculine man by eating junk food, by watching porn, by not exercising. Because do you know what a man who exercises and takes care of his diet, doesn't watch porn, will do to you? This man will absolutely dominate you, will absolutely fuck you in the ass. That's what that man will do. And you can't do anything about it. Because what will you do? Will you chase after him? He's way faster than you. What will you do? Will you fight him? He has trained so much his martial arts skills that he will bust your face open. Do you think you can fuck better than him? No, you can't. You spend all this time watching porn, and now probably you will have an erectile dysfunction. And he will penetrate the woman that you love, and he will take that away from you. He's literally better at everything that you do. And some nerd will come now and type in the comments, "Oh, he isn't smarter than me. He spent all his time in the gym, and I read only books, and now I'm way smarter than him. And if we are in a competition about physics, I will dominate him." Okay, but if you were both in an island, who would survive? You that you can't even climb the tree to grab the fruits, or him that he can not only take down the whole tree, but take down you instead and get your. My advice to young men throughout the world is to return to a traditional, stoic, and perfect man. trying to reach Alexander type of level. A man that not only takes care of his body but also takes care of his mind. Because a man without any virtues, no morals, and any self control is a weak man, a truly weak man. Because you can train all you want your body, but if you don't train your mind as well, you really won't go anywhere in life. You will be a worker, you will be a slave. Because even though you have the brute force to annihilate everyone, you really don't have the strategy to do so. And you will stay where you are. And because I mentioned earlier American Psycho, if you really don't have any self control, you'll probably end up like Patrick Bateman, who not only didn't have any self control, but also his intentions were malicious. He wanted to go and then kill other people just to only feel authentic, because the modern world suppressed him to think that the only things that matter in life is wealth and status and all that. And then he lost all his morals. That's why he kills all these people. And also, he lost all his stoic virtues that would inhibit him from ever doing all this stuff. So, in conclusion, I want to say that a weak man is a very dangerous man, was a man that can't control himself will result to maybe rape and killing other people. And for any men and women that are being controlled by this new age narrative that they are trying to persuade us that is the truth, it really is not. And I need you to know that this new agenda wants to suppress men, make them weak. And for all you women out there, a weak man is a very dangerous man that don't want to come across, because he won't be able to control himself. He won't be able to keep his hands to himself, and then he will probably do awful stuff to you that you don't want to experience. Don't forget to love yourself, and peace.